This podcast is intended for adults only. We do not condone the use of any illegal substances, and anything we consume is for educational purposes only.
Because, we should be afraid of a plant that grows from the ground. And, endocannabinoid system is, it's in your body and it produces cannabinoids. I mean, you know what? I'm going to stop because I'm going to rant. Just play the music, Mitch.
Never thought I'd be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized, do the enterprise, move supersize. Y'all lecture like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize. Yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We know how you see in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too though, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
Gang, highest in the room, yo, we get fucked up. Hey, you can count on Drake, I bring the loud back. Hey,
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Canna podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Mitch Narito.
And it's me, Eric Esteban. And I wanted to start, let's start off the episode with a little grow update taste test. This is going to be a quick one because I am so excited because I had just smoked my last nug, and I was already back at the dispensary. I bought like 2/8 of minis from Exhalants. Mm-hmm. So I was down to like my last nug, my last bowl of weed, and I was scheduled. I cut the Wedding Cake Autoflower down, and I put it in the drying tent.
Okay.
Shout out to Equilibrium Seeds. They sent me, because remember how that fiasco with the lion's claw back in the day, like
where they gave you you got the males?
And got males and the whole thing. But I learned so much in that grow. Like the mistakes that I learned are the things that you learn from anyway in life. But so they sent me these Wedding Cake Autoflowers. And autoflowers are always good, especially if you have multiple tents. You can always set up an autoflower and it'll grow in 3 months and you'll have a harvest. And I got like 28 grams from this plant, which was really great. And also, you saw, and big ass.
Very large, airy nugs, like very beautiful.
Yeah, really nice nugs. Nice for pictures and good for smoking. Mm-hmm. We just smoked and sampled a bong hit of it, and it was really delicious. The high is really smooth. It's not as hard as hitting as,
it's not in your face.
But at the same time, it's a nice steady, let's get to work type of high. Like I could smoke this all day.
Yeah, it was a very my first thoughts on it were the smell for one. Mm-hmm. Was a lot more earthy. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff that you've been growing has more of like that citrusy, piney smell to it.
Yes, I feel you.
This one smelled more. It smelled like day. Daytime. I guess is the best way I could say it.
Like you said it in Tagalog before you pronounced.
It smells like araw.
Yeah, you smell like araw.
No, but yeah, it's like if you were baking in the sun all day. That's what the weed smells like, and it's not like I'm saying it's not like dry or anything. It's just
no, but there's like a pungency to it. That there's more of a like almost funkiness, like like an earthy funk.
Yeah, like a bo.
Yeah, like the armpit. Yeah, no, but there's even terps that they talk about. I can't remember the name of the specific terp, but it's like the shit smell. Like there's a smell of that's a terpene.
Okay,
because that is a smell, and I've heard it described as like a baby diaper terp. Yeah, and you smell it, and it smells like a baby diaper. Which is, I've had 2 babies, and I've had 2 children, and now they're starting to get grown. But at the same time, goddamn, that smell is horrible.
No, but it makes sense because like there's cat piss. So
exactly.
There's terps that smell like cat pee or just pee in general.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, that one had like a more.
But it wasn't bad, right?
It wasn't a bad smell.
Like you still wanted to smoke it. It wasn't like, ooh, just smell like a baby poop.
Yeah,
right.
Like I've had weed like that where it smells cheesy.
Yeah, I've had cheesy weed too.
Yeah, and it's
where it's cheese. It's called cheese. I've smoked cheese. I've smoked blue cheese and a whole bunch of different cheese derivative type of weeds that were named whatever strain they were named, but you could smell the cheese in it.
Yeah. So like a brie.
Yeah.
Like a
Fancy.
camembert.
This fool's, oh my God, look at this fool.
Like a gorgonzola.
He's all fancy with it.
I'm just thinking about cheeses.
No, but we're also other big news. So we tasted our, the wedding cake is great, and harvested about 28 grams from one plant, which is,
It's
average. It's okay. It's cool. But we still have one more tent going until we take a break from growing. I'm going to take 1 month off, which is June. I'm going to try and figure it out, reset all the tents, and reset not reset the pots, but like maybe put some more fertilizer on the pots to make sure that everything's all good for the new stuff that I'll be putting in there. I'll probably just go all seed.
You better ration your weed.
Well, that's part of why I'm glad that I have 5 big plants of Gelato 33 coming probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But yeah, no, I'm going to start to...
No, because I remember when you first harvested
I gave you half a jar.
Yeah, no, that's why you were just like, oh man, I grow my own weed, and then you were just giving weed left and right.
Well, but at the same time, it was such a freeing, almost like the fact that I was weed rich.
Yeah.
It felt good, and it still does. And when I have now, the point is to now build up the supply so that I can be that again without running out myself.
Yeah.
And not without having to go to the store after, oh dang, I gave a jar of weed to Mitch, and I gave a jar of weed to Mikey, and I gave a jar of weed to Angie, and now I only got a quarter of a jar left for my goddamn self. What am I doing? So yeah, no, I got to be more
conservative.
Don't ever put that word to me. I don't ever want to think I'm conservative in any way, shape, or form of anything I am. I have to be more proactive. Without
self-aware
and as far as my own supply and everything. But that said, we're recording this on Thursday, which is the day that announced that President Biden made it official. He's making it official that we are going to deschedule cannabis to
deschedule or reschedule.
See, it's always what I want. I always say deschedule because I want it to be descheduled.
There's a big difference.
But part of me, like we were talking about what we wanted to discuss on this podcast today, and we wanted to give you guys a grow update because part of that whole thing for me as a person who grows their own, and we just discussed how the joys of growing their own and joys of being weed rich where you can pass it out to your friends and, give your homie a jar of weed, as thanks for, just being a friend type of thing. It's all good. It's great. It's a great experience to have. And whether it's rescheduled, descheduled, legalized, whatever ends up happening, if you grow your own, that's what I'm kind of want to talk about for the rest of the time here on the podcast is setting up your own grow and how I set up my own grow, because I'm right now in the process, like I said, I'm in the process of resetting my grow and now going to a new process of the seed where I'm just strictly, I planted a few autoflower seeds, but I didn't go to those actual feminized seed and grow and, just a feminized seed, not that wasn't going to autoflower. I had to grow it, veg it out, grow it out big, and then flip to flower and do all that and the whole process. I haven't done that yet.
Okay,
so I'd really like to do that and help the growers that are listening, or the people or the would-be growers that are listening, also set up their own grow.
Okay, so let's break it down this way. Okay, so if you're going to start a new grow, and folks, if this is something that interests you, grab something to write with and like some paper, take some notes. We'll break it down and give you how to set up your first grow off the bat.
And let us, if you do decide after you listen to this, this is something I really want to do because I smoke weed every day and I don't want to keep giving money away. Why don't I grow my own? And and Eric keeps talking about how cool the process is and how cool it is to connect to the plant. Come to us, the Canna Kuyas, for all your grow information. Hit us up in the DMs on Instagram at Canna Kuya Grow. all these different things. If you are starting your grow or you are currently growing and want to ask us questions or want to give us suggestions or want to be on the podcast, do all those things. But
okay, so let's start off with initial investment. Okay, if I wanted to start my own grow and I had to buy the basics of everything, what are we looking at price wise?
I would go with, you could go with Vivo Sun, Spider Farmer, or the Lamborghini of grow.
No, but I'm talking about like
No, wait. I'm gonna say, you could go and get a grow kit because the grow kit is about. There's a 2x2 tent, which is about the closet size tent, which will get you started, and it's about between $275 and $400.
Okay.
So you could go and pay that amount. And those grow kits from those particular companies that I named, and there's a whole bunch of different companies, but those are the ones that, like, I have a Spider Farmer tent, and I have AC Infinity tents, and fans and stuff. So, but what would happen is if you buy that grow kit, which is for like $300, or if you buy a bigger tent, $500, boom, you're set.
Okay,
and now
so
you got everything you need. You got the pots. You got the only thing that you would need if you didn't buy one of those grow kits is the genetics. And the soil,
the seeds,
or the medium that you would want to grow, whether it be cocoa. Some people grow in cocoa, some people grow in soil, some people grow with hydroponics. However they want to do, you can do that in a tent. So, however, whatever medium you choose, those are the things that you would need. Other than once you buy a grow kit, everything else is almost provided.
Okay, so a grow kit would include a tent, fans, lights. What else?
Pots.
Okay.
Clippers. I mean, everything that we could Google it and break it down, but I'm like the AC Infinity 2x2 grow kit, which I think is like $375, something like that, and the Spider Farmer equivalent, which is like $320 or $350, something like that, on Amazon, which would be in your house at your house in 2 days. And this is not a commercial. This is just, these are the things that I use. And we're not brand affiliated with any of these products. These are the things that I use, and you literally have everything that you would need except the soil, cocoa, or water that you would want to use, and your fertilizer and all that stuff, and then of course your seeds and or clones and genetics.
Okay. So let's say I started. Like for me, I don't like to go on the cheap end. Like I don't want to just get the cheapest things because the older I get, the more I find like if I'm trying to save money right off the bat initially, it's going to cost me in the long run. So, and then I wouldn't want to buy the Lamborghini or Ferrari or anything because I'd be starting, so I don't know what I'm doing with that. So
and you get confused with all the different gadgets and what's it's and everything that it's included. I agree with you.
Yeah. So
I would an entry-level brand or brands for me would be, there's Spider Farmer, which is what I currently use, Vivo Sun, and there's one other brand that I'm off the top of my head. Mars Hydro.
Okay.
Those three brands, Mars Hydro, Vivo Sun, and Spider Farmer, are really good, and the price point on them are comparable.
So it's like the mid range.
Correct.
That's the mid range.
Yeah, those are your
Hondas.
I was just about to say your Honda Civics of grow kits.
Yeah, you're not trying to buy a Kia or a Nissan.
Now, for me, if you said, "Hey, Eric, I want to start growing," I'd probably give you one of my whole setups because now, for me, I know enough now after having gone through now.
A couple harvests,
a few. I've literally harvested every month this year, 2024.
So you'd want to upgrade.
Now I want to upgrade to. I'd go to Lamborghini and get the AC Infinity because AC Infinity is the number one for me because they've literally, as the grow industry has grown and asked for more items, AC Infinity has grown with the industry. And upgraded their gear and worked with the growers, and they're the ones that are sponsoring all the podcasts and doing all the things. Like they're the Lamborghini, they're the Porsche of grow kits and grow items, all the growing accessories, AC Infinity. If you wanted to just drop your money and just get all of it, that you're going to get everything you need with that.
How is customer service dealing with these folks?
That's the great thing about it. As the industry has grown, the customer service has also been really good, to the point where one of my AC Infinity tents started clicking a little bit.
Tent or?
I'm sorry, not tents. I'm sorry. My AC Infinity fans started clicking, and I emailed the customer support, corresponded with them, sent them a video of the clicking. 2 weeks later, I had a brand new fan.
Nice.
Yeah, they're really, and in the case of AC Infinity specifically, I have to actually look into this, but I know that I have a certain brand of their fan, and they just upgraded the fan, and I think they have a program where you can take their old fan, trade it in, because they can recycle the parts to make the newer model fan. So they want to so they're trying to be more
proactive,
recyclable, and everything else.
Okay, so first step, you get yourself a grow kit, right? Mm-hmm. So a package. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure if you were to go on Amazon and search for things individually, you could probably save a little money there, but I feel like that might be a problem, because then you have like different brands, like all doing different things.
Which is what I have right now.
Okay. Is that an issue?
No, not at all. You can also shop around. You can shop around all those brands that I named, and all those and other brands that you find, because that's the greatest part and the most accessible part about this whole thing. You can grow your own now, because at any price point you can find the equipment. You can turn your own closet into a grow.
So you could just cherry pick all the stuff that you like.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can build. That's the most fun part about it, is the Voltroning of building your own thing that you wanted. That was the funnest part for me. Now, for me, if I had to do it again, and this, like I said, if you say, "Yo, Eric, I got the room. I got an extra room now. I want to grow," and I'd give you one of my tents, and then now I'm going to upgrade and get another one. But now I'd just buy a grow kit, because it just makes it easier.
Okay.
And it has all the features that I want, and it just makes it easier for me. I wouldn't have to Voltron it up. It just, but there is a fun to that discovery and what you like. And then you may like a brand better than I do. You may like Vivo Sun better than Spider Farmer, because they got green fans versus black fans. Whatever your aesthetic is.
And after you purchase, okay, so what's the setup? What are the initial steps to setting up your grow?
You're gonna set up the tent first. Mm-hmm. Then you're gonna set up the fans and your ventilation system. Which, if you buy the grow kit, you're gonna have your exhaust and your carbon filter. So you're in need for when it goes to flower. You don't have to attach the carbon filter right away. Like all through veg, they don't smell enough to where they don't emit enough smell to where you would need a carbon filter. But once flower, by week 5-6, if you're growing inside, you'll start to smell it. So you want a carbon filter, depending on your setup and wherever you are, what state you're growing in, those growing rules and specifications. Because if you're inside and you're in a closet and you're the only one who lives there, then the only one who smells it is you. But if you're in an apartment, it might be a different story. So that would be the setting up the carbon filter when, like, I set it up right away because I'm here in the house. But what was I gonna say?
So setting up the tent, setting up the fans and the filter. Mm-hmm. What's next?
Setting up the fans and the filter, and then hanging the light. And then once you hang the light, then it's getting soil into the pots and putting seeds in the soil and growing and then watching grow videos on YouTube over and over again to see how you want to grow.
So when you watch the videos, because Eric is an alumni of YouTube University.
That's right. Take advantage, man. It's free knowledge right on your phone.
Yeah, he never got the full. He didn't go to school or anything. He's just picking it up and taking notes, and then just a lot a lot of like experimentation for him.
Like I said to Mitch, this what now, third round? I guess third round, because you can, if you count the mother plant as the mother clone as the first round of Gelato 33. The second round would have been the monster clones that we grew out and we only got like, one jar from 5 plants because they didn't really yield too much because I forgot to fertilize them. But this round, this, I guess, third round of Gelato 33 is, I think I finally hit it.
Nice.
Like where I fertilized right at the right time. I watered right at the right time. I dried back and let them and deprived them of water at the right time and all the things. Like I feel like I finally, in a lot of ways, learned how to grow in this style, which is funny because now I'm trying to kind of switch it up because I think I might switch my nutrient company. And I might, but I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking because, like I said, I'm trying to reset, which is why I wanted to talk about this on our podcast because I'm resetting my grow next month and kind of figuring it out to see how I want to move forward for the following. Because the winter is when, like, I want to hit. I want to figure out whatever I grow, whether it's Jedi cookies from homegrown, or it's strawberry cough from homegrown, or it's another. Humble seed company, because I'm thinking about Hella Jelly or something like that too. Like there's a lot of strains that I'm thinking about. There's like blueberry muffin too, which I'm very intrigued by. So there's a lot of strains that I'm thinking about growing, but I want to grow it because the fall is the perfect time for drying in my environment. So I want to hit that hard because it's going to be the perfect temperature. It's cold enough to where it's going to hit in the flower perfect. But if I fertilize them right and I hit it all the way right with everything, we could be sitting on 2 pounds of weed by the fall. 2-3 pounds of weed. That's my goal, is to really maximize my space, utilize everything, and then pick the right genetics to maximize the yield, maximize the whole grow. So that's kind of my next steps, which is why I like, for me, as I go through that, like we can go through that on the podcast too.
And this is kind of off topic, but you said muffin, and I think.
Oh yes, thank you for go ahead. Yes.
So, we were supposed to have Muffin be Puffin back. We did have her back on an episode, but we were using StreamYard, and the sound quality was absolutely horrible, so we weren't able to put that episode out. But Muffin, we appreciate your time. We appreciate talking to you and getting to know you. We will have you back at some point, and we'll do it right.
Yeah, we'll do it right because we're still learning here at the Canna podcast, even on our audio that we're doing right now. And also we're learning because I heard something on another podcast that I was listening to, and it really kind of, I really connected with it. It was Andrew Gillum from the Native Land podcast.
Okay,
and he talked about, because they're on episode 18. Ironically, of theirs, and we're like on episode 17, I think. This is episode 17.
Yeah.
And so we're like right behind them, because I think we uploaded our first episode. Anyway, he talked about how like the first couple of episodes, you're kind of like trying to figure out what you want to talk about, who you want to talk to, the things that you want to cover, the subjects you want to, worry about. And if you guys can hear that, I just live by the Burbank airport. It's all good. It's just a low-flying plane.
It's my stomach. It's just rumbling.
And also, Mitch just ate a burger. But I'm sorry, I lost my train because this wedding cake is really good, guys.
Yeah. Stupid.
I've lost my train twice on this podcast already. One was because of my wife, but it also was because of the wedding cake.
No, you're talking about a quote from Andrew Gilliam.
Yes, thank you. Where your podcast is kind of trying to find its voice, and I feel like where we are right now in this current episode, where we're giving grow updates and we're encouraging people to grow because of the changing landscape of cannabis, I think that's where I kind of want to keep living. And yes, we'll keep bringing in guests like Kalia and Keith Pedro, and you guys should really listen to all the prior episodes. But at the same time, going forward, I feel like this podcast is going to be the Filipino American voice for the cannabis community, for our part of the cannabis community. That's just where I'm at with it, because I feel like we're providing you an authentic voice that is, we're down to the soil. We're learning how to grow it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're trying to reconnect with the plant and also destigmatize it. So I feel like that's where those are our two goals going forward, is destigmatize and also introduce it to our community.
Yeah, like for you, you're providing your knowledge, even though it's not quote unquote like professional or whatnot.
I'm not an expert. We're all learning, bro.
But I think that you sharing this knowledge and you just putting it out there, that there are people in our community that do consume and grow their own weed, and that's the thing that I've found fascinating. I've gotten to meet a lot of the Filipino cannabis community, and there are so many people doing so many different things at high levels, and it just blows my mind, because I'm still at I'm a veteran user, but in terms of like growing in the business, I'm very novice in that respect.
Right.
And then just seeing people that take it seriously. They don't have all the hangups that I have over the plant or whatever, and they've been able to use it to find some success and to provide for their communities and their families, which is amazing.
Well, but bro, you're that's part of the reason why you're the perfect co-host for me. You're that skeptical voice.
Yeah, it's just I care. I just not that much. It's just
no, no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like because you're always that person that checks me, because I'm, there's a lot going on in Burbank today.
Yeah, we're getting rolled on right now, guys. This episode might be ending soon.
Hold on, let's make sure that the cops aren't here for us.
They're gonna break down your door.
We're using all the accessible audio. Why not?
We're good. This is the production value. It's like a radio show, guys.
It is. It's like a theater. It's like a radio theater. Anyway,
Eric is a Filipino ghost.
No, but like I've always wanted this. I've always wanted this to grow my own. It was always going to be the goal at the end of the day, because I always knew that cannabis was going to be legal. I did. Like every other pothead who started smoking weed in the 90s, like I did. Like, you knew eventually people were going to wise up, because if you started studying the history of it, you knew that this was an essential plant throughout human history. So you knew that eventually people were going to wise up and start using it again. Especially for me, as when I was discovering it, I was discovering the medicinal properties of it and how it benefits me and my brain. So why not share it with everybody? Because when I shared it with my parents, the ultimate, like, oh my God, my mom uses it now and it helps her. So why not help everybody else out there? That's kind of where I'm at with it now.
Nice.
So setting up and growing your own is kind of, to me, your best setup. Because if you can and have the room, the capacity, and the legality, because there's a lot of
I was about to say, like, for just a disclaimer for all the people that are out there in states where marijuana, recreational or medicinal, is not legal, like, don't try to grow.
There's 31 states now, and in some of those other states that even where it is medicinally and recreationally legal, there are still certain stipulations as far as growing your own. So you still have to know all your own local and state laws before you decide to grow your own.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anybody in the comments or anybody in our community
be like, "Pare, I got arrested."
Yeah, why?
Because I'm in Idaho. Like, I didn't even know there was Filipinos in Idaho, guy.
I got locked up. I got locked out.
I don't want any, don't try to call me on Instagram either. That is the most uncomfortable phone thing that ever interacts when somebody tries to call you on Instagram. That shit is weird. Don't do that. Okay?
Yeah. Please research your own laws. We are obviously talking about Los Angeles or California, where it is legal. You are allowed to grow it. You're allowed to have up to 6 plants. for personal use.
And up to I can grow because I have a medicinal card or a medicinal prescription license. I don't know what they're classifying it as now, but I can grow up to 12 plants.
Oh, so you get more if you have the medicinal?
Yeah.
Okay. So guys,
and actually that number changes every time I Google it. So it might. I've heard up to and including. Yeah, I can go up to 99, but I have to do a better Google search as far as the limits, and especially here in Burbank because there's different rules. Like I can't grow outdoors in Burbank.
Yeah, and this is all personal use, guys. It's not commercial. No one's trying to sell
and
anything.
I'm not telling no kids to smoke weed. We're not doing that. We're not telling anybody to break any rules or be illegal. I'm telling you that if you can and you can grow your own weed and you live in a state that allows for you to grow your own, that's the best way. So you're talking about somebody who lives in a recreational state, like a place like Chicago or New York, where you're going to like in New York, you're going to the bodega and you're buying a joint for $20 every day. You probably want to maybe turn one of your closets.
Who pays $20 for a joint?
People in New York. I did.
Really?
Yeah, it was $20.
Like just the.
And then that bitch made my lips feel numb.
Your nips
and my nips too. No, but for real, it made my lips feel numb because it was one of those enhanced with moon rocks.
Oh no!
But I feel like it might have been crack rocks. Might have been, but whatever. It was fun.
Yeah.
I was in New York smoking a joint, and the first lines of "If I Rule the World" by Nas.
Yeah, you've mentioned
life.
that.
I wonder, will it take me under? I don't know. Imagine smoking weed in the street without cops harassing. And I was doing that shit in New York. So even though my lips were numb by that joint that I bought for $20.
That brings up another point, guys. Like, if you're growing your own, you have a little more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Control.
Yes, you have more say in, and like you can observe what's going into what you're putting into your own body, I guess.
Because, guys, the days of that pure earthy smells that Mitch and I are smelling in the homegrown, like Mitch can attest because you primarily smoke dispo weed, right? You can attest to the difference. Yeah
no, like definitely a lot of dispo weed can be processed. It can be artificially enhanced,
sprayed with artificial terps.
Yeah, like you could take a really, really shaggy weed and just throw a bunch of keef or hash or oil onto it to make it more potent, but it's still shaggy weed. It's still shake. It's still that Bama weed.
Like I remember when we smoked the moon rocks with Angie. Remember?
Yeah.
The grape ape. There was like a grape ape moon rock, and we were smoking the what was that?
Lion's Paw, I think.
Not Lion's Paw. That was the mint jelly.
Oh yeah.
From Humboldt, and that was amazing.
Yeah, that one hit a lot harder,
and it hit so much harder. And that's the thing that I keep harping on is, back in the day when you just smoke whatever weed you could get, and even back in the Prop 215 days where, people who grew their own could sell it to the dispo and, and all that stuff. Like that quality of weed, that's gone.
Yeah.
From the dispo. And unless you're going to pay an arm and a leg, and then, even then you don't know how long that beautiful weed that's in that jar has been sitting there under those hot lights.
That's one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why, like when you go to the dispensary, they always have dates on everything now because they didn't before.
Yeah.
So they're trying to regulate it. They're trying to keep better track of it.
This is the wild, wild west still, guys, because half the states still, there's still half the states, and Biden just said this. So the implementation of this, this is going to be a lot of feeling around with blinders on, trying to figure out how to do this stuff. So
I feel like there's a lot of dispensaries that are going to close because one of the things that I was reading is that now that it is being rescheduled, a lot of dispensaries and places where you can get weed are going to have to file new paperwork, and because of that, their financials are going to get more closely looked at. And
but it's also good because they can actually have financials, rather than they tax write-off stuff, and they can, there's different benefits and drawbacks to everything.
No, but one of the main reasons why people have dispensaries and that most dispensaries are cash only is because you can't keep track of it.
Correct.
Like you keep track of whatever.
Like, you remember when we were in Chicago and those guys under the train station, and they were at the little bodega, and they were like, "You guys want some weed?" And then we're like, "Is this real weed? I hope that this is make me eat Mitch's face."
Yeah. No, but yeah. So like, the little shops, like the little ones that don't have their paperwork filed, and we've seen it before. It's not like it's a shocking or revolutionary thing. Like. No. We've seen dispensaries come and go all over the city for one reason or another, and that was their MO for a while.
Burgeoning industry, that's how it goes. People kind of vie for, and then you got people like Burner and Cookies, and and you got people like
your MedMen,
which are
going out of business.
Well, because they were, they tried to make everybody go to an Apple store, and I'm sure the upfront costs of all their branding was a lot of why they suffered in the end. Because instead of concentrating on the quality and presentation, you put everything in a glass case, and I never felt comfortable buying stuff from MedMen. I've maybe been to MedMen maybe 2-3 times, especially when I'm traveling.
I only went to MedMen once. Once.
Well, did you go to the MedMen in Chicago, the one by Comedyplex?
Remember, I tried to go in there just to ask for lighters, and they're like, "We don't have lighters," and I was like, "Fuck this." Oh.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like they never thought about the pot smoker.
Yeah.
They were so busy trying to get the suburban mom who never tried weed that they didn't think about the actual everyday smoker that was going to be
how are you going to have a dispensary and not have lighters?
Anyway.
People are going to light up as soon as they leave the store.
But that I get at the end of the day, that's American capitalism, the survival of the fittest. That's basically what it boils down to.
Anyhow. Let's run this back. So, guys, if you're thinking about growing your own weed, and Eric highly encourages it if it's something for you.
If you can, do it.
So get yourself a kit, a tent, right? With your lights, your fans, your pots and everything. Set up your pots, get yourself your plants, and see how it goes.
Now, and as far as once you've gotten to that step and you've got your grow space set up, now you got to start thinking about your environment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
we'll save that for next week. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why? We're running out of time.
We're getting there.
Wow,
so
look at that. See, look at how much I know about growing. I've already filled up one episode with just the setup.
That's just the setup. So next we'll go into actual planting and cycles and managing,
and also discussing some of the genetic companies and the seed companies that I've kind of
choosing the right seed for you,
choosing the right seeds for you, the hot genetics that are people that everybody's growing right now, and all that stuff. So that'll be next episode.
And we just want to thank all the Canna Kuyas and the marijuana ates for coming back to listen to us. This is the Canna Kuya podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm Mitch Narito.
And I'm Eric Esteban.
Stay lifted.
Stay elevated. Peace, y'all.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
I got my hoodie on, now peep the chest as human catalyst. Downtown Chula Vista, on 3rd Ave where I go cop some shit. Fuck a thief, so fuck zoomies. Yeah, they whack ass jacket shit. Yeah, I move too swift, so I'm striking silence. Fuck the violence, man, check my mileage, cause I got driving. First tour, I drove 6 states, never thought I'd be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized, do the enterprise, move supersize. Y'all extra like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize. Yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We the highest in the room. Just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too though, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
Gang, highest in the room, yo, we get fucked up. You can count on Trey, can't bring the loud back. Get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run. Yeah, keep the up or leave the fucker Folgers. Little bitch, I made the beat and dropped the full verse. I just hit a steelo, I got dripped up. Package born and raised, bitch, I got dripped up. Y no se compara. You stuck with mi pana, se llama Trigger, fumando ganja. Estamos con Cali, fumando en Cali, yo sé que traen ganas. Ella me dice, papi, que terminamos la cama. Highest in the room, yeah, we get fucked up. You can count on Trey Cap, bring the loud pack. Get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run.
Yeah, we got hits like Tatis and Machado. Man, we know you're not a leader, cause all our moves you just follow, packing big bowls. You know we just scooped up that gelato, cause I smoke killer. My shirt iller, yo, ask our dealer, we the highest in the room. Just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too though, they rewind us. All my talk is lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I rarely rock designer.